So now that we know that the sequence that we are trying to compute is periodic and the period of that is smaller than 6m, we will use this fact to construct an efficient algorithm. Let's get into the details. So in the previous video we have seen that the sequence is f of n is equal to f of n minus 1 plus f of n minus 1 2 modulo 10. Then this is a periodic sequence with period 60. So what does it mean? So this entire sequence will repeat in a chunk of a block of 60s. So if you want to compute f of n for a large n, so what you need to compute in compute f of I for I is equal to 0 to 60, and then given any n, f of n can be easily computed by looking at f of n percentile 60. So what matters is after 60 again the block repeats, it again starts repeating at 120 and so on. So if you want to value of f of 70, then what you need to do is that you take modulo 60, what you get is 10. So f of 70 will be same as f of 10. Similarly, if you want the value of f of 100, then 100 modulo 60 is 40. So f of 100 will be same as f of 40. So if you just keep track of the first 60 values, then for any larger value, if you want to compute f of n, then what all that you need to do is just compute f of n percentile 60. So if n is a smaller number, let's say that it is smaller than 64, 2 to the power 64, that means that if you have a 64-bit computer, this number can be represented as a integer, right? So once this is a smaller number which is smaller than 2 to the power 64, that's about 10 to the power 18. So this number will have about 18 digits in the decimal representation. In that case, you can always take percentile 10, percentile 60, so in constant time. So computing this f value from I is equal to 0 to 60 is also constant time. Once you compute the values for first 60 numbers, then given any n, so what all that you need to do is just take percentile 60 and report the corresponding number there. So this n percentile 60 can be found in constant time because you have to first compute the first 60 values, which is a constant time. After that you have to take n percentile 60 and report the value. So if n is a number which is smaller than 64, that is even if n is about 10 to the power 18, this by using this theorem, using the fact that this is a periodic sequence of period 60, f of n can be found in constant time. But how do we compute this sequence if n is a very large number, right? So can we compute this if when n is let's say 1000-digit number? So if n is a 1000-digit number, so n percentile 60 doesn't make sense because the 1000-digit number cannot be represented as an integer, right? So the question is, how do we represent a 1000-digit number in the computer? In other words, how do you store a 1000-digit number, or what kind of data structure can we use to store a 1000-digit number? Okay. So one of the ways is to store a k-digit number. So k can be 1000 here, can be represented by an array, right? So if I give you a 1000-digit number, will have 1000 digits in it. These 1000 digits can be represented stored in an array of length 1000, integer array of length 1000. The implicit representation that we will have is this I is going from 0 to k minus 1. This n is actually in the decimal representation, which is a of I into 10 to the power I. For example, the integer 123 can be represented by an array of length 3, where in the f0 I am going to store 3, f1 I am going to store 2, and f2 I am going to store 1. So this array is essentially 3 plus 2 into 10 plus 1 into 100. So that is so any 1000-digit number can be represented by an array of size 1000. In general, a k-digit number can be represented by an array of size k. So now it's easy to define addition, multiplication and other basic operations on this array. So I will leave it to you to figure out how to do that, how to efficiently, you have to write, so the addition and multiplication are not just a simple operation, so that will take k amount of time to do the addition and multiplication if you want to do any operation on this large number. But what we are interested in is modulo operation. So modulo is also easy to compute. So we want to compute modulo p happens to be 60 here. I start with the last number, so that is the remainder that I start with. Then I start with I is equal to k minus 1, k minus 2, that is the last but one bit. As long as I still have to see some digits, that's when I is greater than 0. What I do is that I multiply r into 10 plus a of I minus minus. Okay, and then so whatever I get, this is the number that I am trying to keep track of. But I don't need the entire number, so what I need is percentile p. Okay, so when I do percentile p, this will give me the number modulo the prime p, which is the period of the given sequence. So if I give you the k-digit number, you can store it in an array of size k. Then if I give you a small number p, which is an integer, which is smaller than 2 to the power 64, then you can perform this operation by you can just multiply r into r plus you add the next number. Keep doing this. What you get will be the remainder when you divide this big integer by modulo p. So this particular algorithm will run for a k times, which is essentially the number of digits in the given number. So the entire complexity of this algorithm will be order k now, order k, where k is the number of digits in the big number that you give me. So k in terms of n will be log of n. So if I give you the sequence, if I have to find f of n for a large n, then this can be found in order log of n time. So first you find the period. So in order to find the period modulo 60, so you have to first just find the numbers from sequence from 0 to 60. After that you find n percentile 60. Since n is a very large number, that is a 1000 digit number, then you can do percentile 60 in time, which is proportional to number of digits in the given number, which is log of n. So the entire sequence can be found in order log n time. So if n is a small number, it's a 64-bit number, then this log of n will be 64, which is again a kind of constant algorithm. Now let's try to generalize this to modulo m instead of 10. If I have to find modulo m, then also this is known to be a periodic sequence with the period smaller than 6m. So what we start with is we start with f of 0 is equal to 0, f of 1 is equal to 1. Then we use the constant space algorithm. So where we keep finding the next number. We know that when we reach the period, so some number will be f of p will be f of 0 and f of p plus 1 will be f of 1. So you so in that algorithm where I use the variables a comma b comma c, where a was initially 0, b was 1 and c was a plus b percentile n, percentile m in this case, and a is updated to b and b is updated to c. Now I check whether a is equal to f of 0 and b is equal to f of 1. If that condition is satisfied, I break out of the loop. I found my period. So once you found my period, then for any larger value of n, so you know that f of n will be n percentile p. Since the period is smaller than 6m, finding the period will take at most order m time. Then so order m time is what is required to find the time required to find the period, and you may have to find the while loop in order to find the period should go from 0 to p. Okay, so once you found the period, then it's just a matter of dividing the number by p, so that will take order log n time. So this entire algorithm in worst case will take order m plus log of n. So notice that so the m comes into picture here. More specifically, this can be written as log of p plus log of n, because your algorithm can terminate the moment you found the period of the sequence, but period can be as bad as 6m. So in general, this can be written as order m plus log of n. So but notice that here the complexity of the algorithm depends on m, not just on n. So if m is 10 to the power 9, then so even if n is a 1000 digit number, so the log m will be a dominating term instead of log of n. So okay, so I repeat, if m is 10 to the power 9, even if n is a 1000 digit number, so log of n will be about in thousands, but m is in millions. So m starts dominating if m is about 10 to the power 9. So in the next video, we will come up with an try to come up with an algorithm whose complexity depends only on the log of n, and it is independent of the m.